everyone, and welcome back to the Unbothered podcast, where we like to chat about America's fifth sport, MTV's The Challenge. Today, we are back recapping an episode of All Stars. We're recapping episode 8, and we have two special co-host guests with us. We have Paige from the Most Likely 2 pod. She's been here before. We've been there. We love her. We're old friends. Welcome, Paige. And then, of course, we have our first time person here with us, Dylan from the Chillin' with Dylan podcast. Welcome, Dylan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we cancel Dylan for doing this?
No, this is my thing now. I'm taking it from TJ.
Are you even old enough to know where that comes from?
I'm 21, so yeah, I'm an adult.
Oh, you're a baby.
Yeah, that was like way before your time, but
Dylan, tell everybody the year you were born.
I was born in 2000.
Well, he just said he was 21, so I mean, unless Nelson's listening, I think we can all do the math.
I'm so old. I could be your mom.
But you don't.
I could be his mom too. It just would be bad.
Yeah, very bad, Paige.
Same.
Actually, I could probably be y'all's mom.
No.
I don't know how old you are.
I'm 31.
Oh.
Yeah, if you were a teen mom, you could be my mom. Oh my God, do you want to adopt me? Like, I'm already grown and house trained. I know how to do the dishes. I can do my own laundry.
Come on then.
Yes. Pay my own bills and everything. And send you Christmas cards.
I better send a Christmas card this year then.
I'm gonna send. I actually remember to send Christmas cards last year, so this year I'm gonna try and do it again.
I send Christmas cards every year. I'm that dork that sends like 30 of them.
I love that.
I love them.
I feel like Paige sends them every year with her dogs.
Yeah, I do. The COVID year, it was like the saddest picture. They were like under the Christmas tree looking sad as fuck.
Aww.
We didn't do anything that year. So like there was nothing to like, yeah.
I better get a dog Christmas card this year.
Okay.
I didn't get one last year.
My husband hates having his picture taken, and he has no social media. He pretty much doesn't like people. But we had a thing where he said, because I wanted to do it every year, we could do every other year picture with the dogs for Christmas cards, but we didn't do it last year because we moved. So,
oh yeah, but this year you'll be all settled in. You can get good pictures.
Well, this year I want to take my dogs to San Diego. Like I want to take them to the beach and do like cute photos there. So we'll see.
Oh, you should.
And you're going to San Diego. We're going skydiving.
Okay.
We are going skydiving. I have the text message as proof. You said okay.
I was on drugs, and so
you agreed to it.
You would skydive?
Yeah, I want to skydive. Paige is going too.
I actually think I would skydive, but I just had back surgery, and Dylan asked me, I believe, the day after my back surgery. Honestly,
up.
That's why he waited until you were messed up to ask you.
Listen, she accepted it, and it's in October, so she has time to recover. It's only like June.
Okay.
I believe in you. I believe in you.
Okay. I like that. If I tried to take Leroy to the beach to do fun pictures, it wouldn't work because he would try to attack the ocean the entire time.
Listen, he's living his best life, okay?
His best blind life, yes.
Oh.
I took him outside earlier and I was like, all right, let's go to the bathroom. And he literally just walked into the middle of the grass and plopped down and was like, I'm good here.
Aww.
I love him so much.
It's 85 degrees and humid. Can we go inside, please? Thank you.
You need to post a photo of him on the Unbothered Instagram.
Oh yeah, I should. And then I mean, he's not named after Leroy from the Challenge, but I love that his name is Leroy too. Yeah. So I should tag him and maybe he'll see it and share it.
If you could name one animal after a challenger, what name would it be? I already have mine set, but I'll go last.
If I had a long-haired calico cat, I don't know why it would be that particular one, but I would name that cat Cara Maria because she would be spicy and beautiful and unique.
We can skip Paige because she'll do Dunbar.
Or Veronica. Maybe she's a cat named Veronica.
I literally was gonna say I want a Siamese cat named Veronica.
I feel like Turbo is a good pet name.
Oh
yes.
I can see that.
You get like one of the ripped kind of dogs, name it Turbo.
I already have names picked out when I get more English bulldogs.
Oh,
I'm gonna name one Lugnut, which I think is really cute. And
It's
one
cute.
I'm gonna call him Dump Truck.
I love that. See, before I got Max, I wanted a dog and I wanted to name it Lemon. Like no matter what color it was, no matter what, I wanted to name the dog.
that's a cool name.
And then I found Max, and he was like, he had some Spanish name that nobody could pronounce. And like, he didn't really know his name either. So it wasn't that serious. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess your name is Max now. So I feel like whatever dog I get next, I'll name Lemon. I think TJ is a good name for like a.
TJ's good. Yeah.
It's cute.
No, I would do a husky named Parvati from Survivor, or a husky named Evelyn because she's the greatest of all
Yeah.
time.
I have a husky.
Do you like having huskies?
Oh yeah, he's the third one I've had. His name's
Oh.
Jack.
I heard they're loud.
They're all rescues, and my bulldog's a rescue. Her name was originally Miss Piggy, and I hated that, so we changed it to Abigail. We call her Abby.
Louis' name was Skylar when I first got him, and I was like, oh no, this will not do.
Wait, for a boy?
Yeah, I don't know. He might have some gender identity issues now. I mean, I don't know. I literally got him and neutered him and then changed his name. Like I fucked him up, man. Like
Oh.
he has no idea.
Oh my god. I think Amadeus' name was like Lucian or Lucifer or something. He's like a long-haired black cat. And I was like, he's never gonna get adopted with that name.
Wait, it wasn't Lucifer.
No, that would have been hilarious.
Because it should have been.
And then I changed his name. It took me 2 weeks to come up with a name that suited him, but we landed on Amadeus. And then Herman's name was Eros, just like the god of love. And I was like, that's a joke.
Yeah.
So I named him Hermes because I thought it was cute, but I call him Fat Herman more than I call him anything else. So, and then Leroy came with his name.
I think Bananas would be a good name for a dog, but Banana sucks, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
That's the
But
only thing I didn't like about this episode, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, because we got, talking about dogs and animals, we are talking about All Stars. It's episode 8. We're only 2 away from the final episode of the season. I can't freaking believe it.
It's gone so fast.
It has gone so fast. And then I think July 6th is when the CBS The Challenge premieres. Interested to see how that goes.
Hell Week. That's our Hell Week.
That's gonna be so bad. So bad.
Because Survivor airs that week.
Big Brother.
Same night. Or Big Brother, excuse me.
All Stars.
I think Survivor's like in September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So All Stars ends, Big Brother 24 premieres, and then CBS Challenge premieres. The day, like July 6th is when all of that happens. Dylan and I are in New York for the Big Brother premiere party and the CBS Challenge premiere party. And then 3 days later, we're in Kansas City for the All-Star
Challenge Mania
finale party. So basically, we're either going to have to really learn to get along or you'll never see us together again.
Yeah. And we're recording episodes recaps too. So it's gonna be a long week.
Have y'all met in person then?
We actually met first time in person in St. Louis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
No,
then Nashville's at the end of July.
Yeah, we have that too.
So do I.
July is just gonna be a busy month.
Yeah. Well, Nadine will be in Nashville. Tia, you should come.
Oh, I'm having a big
It's
birthday.
her birthday.
Oh.
Jealous. Yeah, I move next month and I have to do all that before Nashville. So pray for me because I'm not even in closing yet.
Let's pray for everybody.
Yeah, but I have to be out of my place by July 31st. So I'm going to have to turn the keys in before the 29th because the 29th is when I leave for Nashville. But it's okay. We'll get through it. We'll get through it.
You're gonna make it work.
Yes.
With a lot of weed and some wine. I'll make it work. So if you don't remember what happened last week on All Stars episode 7, we saw Jordan and Ronnie go home. They got defeated by Mark and Jonna respectively. It was very few eliminations that Jordan cannot do.
Right.
One that includes pulling your own weight when you only have one hand against a man that is stacked and twice your size with 2 hands is one of those eliminations.
Yeah.
So, oh well.
I liked Jordan this season. the first recap Dylan and I did, he gave me shit and said I'm a Jordan fan. And I was like, no, the fuck I'm not. I might be a slight Jordan fan after this season. I'm not going to lie. Slight. Very.
No, Jordan, yeah, he got a good
edit.
He got a good edit and he like looked more mature. I've always been a real Portland stan, and it's been hard to defend Jordan sometimes when he does things that I don't agree with. But Paige was supporting him before episode 1 too. And I called her out on it. And then okay. Listen, we're Jordan stans here. We support the Real Portland.
People can change. I think he's grown.
Yeah. I am sad we didn't see any of the arguments him and Nia apparently had, though.
Yeah.
That's why I said he kind of got a good edit. I mean, his energy did feel different, just like he just seemed to have a different like vibe about him. So I'm sure he was definitely more chilled out this season than he has been on the main show. I didn't mind it. I'm still not a Jordan fan. I give him props for everything he's accomplished on the show and in life. But as far as on the show goes, I'm not a huge fan of his character. I don't know what he's like in real life. Can't judge him based on that.
He's a
I was not a fan, but I did like him on this. So
yeah, I liked him better on All Stars. I liked him almost as much as I liked him on his very first season of the challenge when he was with Marlon. Almost.
That was the best season of all time.
What, Rivals 3?
Rivals 2.
Rivals 2. Why did I think it was Rivals 3? I for some reason, I always forget Rivals 3 exists, even though that's the one where Banana stole the money. And if I'm honest, it's probably because Carl wasn't on that season, so I didn't care as much.
Rivals 3 is one of the most overrated challenge seasons of all time. I didn't say it was a bad season. I just said it was overrated. I don't think.
No, it's a bad season, Paige.
Let's fight it out.
All right, let me get my referee whistle.
Paige, we can say it's a bad season. What?
I'm not gonna say that.
Let the banana stands come for us.
Listen, last time I was on a YouTube Zoom, I accidentally went and looked at the comments and they were all like really nice, but they were like, this bitch really hates bananas. So I need to like really rein it in, because the Cara stands won't ever come. If I said anything bad about her, they really wouldn't come for me too much. CT stands don't really come for you. Banana stands will burn your house down. So I need to be like careful.
Yeah. I don't mind him as much as you hate him, but that season sucked.
Anyway.
Anyway, so episode 8 of All Stars. It starts out with everyone returning to the house, sans Jordan and Ronnie, because they just went home in the elimination. No one knows what the fuck the stars mean still to this day. They just know some people have a lot of stars. Nia confides in Nehemiah that the loss of Jordan from the game will affect her confidence, and because she just doesn't feel it on her own. And he tries to kind of give her a little bit of a pep talk, to like just remind her that sometimes you have to find your why, and you have to use that to keep going. And I like really want to know if he did any Reiki for her while they were in the house. I want to know, because they don't ever show it.
If he did, he would have predicted she's pregnant, because that's what he did on the last person he did Reiki to in that house. Well, I liked that moment with Jordan and Nia, or with Nehemiah and Nia.
I did too.
Yeah,
I thought it was a really sweet moment.
I think they like definitely have similar energy. Like, I've been around both of them and they do have similar energy. Like, he's like goofy and everything, and so is she, but they also are like so empathetic. So I loved that we got to see their connection.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And I am a fan of Nehemiah, so I don't think he's gotten nearly as much camera time this season as he did last season. I'm sure part of it has to do with the fact that King's Palace didn't really make a full return. Latarian went home early, blah, blah, blah. And then Wes being there. So I really like this little moment, because I love me some Nehemiah. So we get to the daily. The daily is called Flight Pattern. But before we even find out what it's called and what we're doing, TJ has to give Veronica some bad news.
Yeah.
She broke her toe running towards the pizza down the stairs, and now she has to go home. The challenge and pizza do not get along.
Right?
I don't know what it is about pizza, but some shit always happens when there's pizza.
People get hurt or they fight.
They should do a food challenge where with disgusting pizza in the final. Like put a bunch of bugs on the pizza, just like symbolic.
Just put pineapple on it.
I know people that love pineapple pizza though. I can't get behind it.
It
but
ceases to be pizza if you put pineapple
Yeah.
on it.
I don't like hot fruit on cheese and bread, but that's just me. But yeah, that would be a funny like daily would just be like weird fucking pizza creations.
Yeah. Have Amber, Fessy, Brad, and Marie do it. Who wins? My money's on Marie and Brad.
I mean, like
Same.
if I had a pizza and someone ate it, I'd fight you.
It depends on the pizza. If it's a frozen pizza, it's not worth my time.
DiGiorno, get the fuck out of here. That's worth
DiGiorno's
it.
disgusting, Paige. Are you kidding me right now?
I like bruschetta.
Well,
Also, the bread.
Hold on, time out. Did you just say DiGiorno pizza?
Yeah. So the
Dylan is very bougie about his pizza.
No.
He is angry about it.
We can't just skip over that.
Listen, I'm not going to take an opinion from somebody who prefers Laurel over Cara. So how about that one?
How about your
First of
TikTok?
all, get off of my Zoom call.
Listen. I don't know why we're starting with me right now, Paige. First of all, that TikTok was supposed to be up a week ago and you haven't edited it yet. Number two, we agree that I would take Laurel for the TikTok because I love Laurel. I love them both.
Anyway, the Red Baron pizza boats are also very good. Like the French bread ones, those are good. But they are good. I think that Veronica leaving is all of TJ's fault. I think the fact that he brought up foot doctors put the karma on her. But like, okay, think about it this way. Let's say that she had fell down the stairs and said nothing about her toe, like said nothing about it, wore a sock. They would have never known.
I said the same thing. There have been people that have kept playing with broken bones and no one said anything.
I mean, MJ just did a story on his Instagram that he was so fucking hurt and kept it from production. I feel like Veronica didn't know it was that serious and that it was going to DQ her, because if she knew, she would have said nothing. Because TJ,
I mean, that foot was fucked up looking.
Yeah. Well, TJ was right. She would have she would have stayed if she could.
That's a good point because they let Cara and free agents play with what was a broken hand or a broken arm or whatever.
Yeah.
They wanted the drama. Like what would have been Veronica, because her broken toe, like doing the challenge that they had, the what was it called, flight pattern?
Yeah.
That wouldn't have hurt her toe even more. Like maybe if she landed weird in the water, but like the likelihood of that hurting your toe if you wrap it and like have your water shoes on is like very slim. So
I think it was Frankie said that was production's way of securing John A's win.
Veronica would have never finished that final with or without a busted toe. I'm sorry.
We don't know what the final is. Don't talk shit about Veronica.
Look, I enjoy Veronica, but she's not the Veronica of before.
Mentally, she is though.
No shade. I wouldn't win the final either. Mentally, yes. But the final is not just mental. There's a lot of
think she could pass Kellyanne because Kellyanne doesn't have the puzzles. There's no chance on God's green earth that she's beating John A or Kayla or even Nia in a final.
Yeah, not physically.
I agree.
But Kayla maybe physically, no, but Kayla can't even subtract. So, you know.
I don't like this Kayla hate that you've been having for this last week.
Oh, well, we all hate Kayla, so.
I don't hate Kayla. I just said that she's overrated.
Okay.
But
I'm not a Kayla fan.
Kayla for sure.
I'm not a Kayla fan.
The word hate, I just very much dislike Kayla.
I think Kayla is good for the show. Can you agree on that?
No.
Oh my God.
How is she good for the show?
Well, okay, hold on. We got to talk about this one. Besides Cara, who do you guys like? Like female cast member?
Jenny West.
Okay. I like Nia. Nia's my favorite.
I like Nia. If you're talking about on the main show, I have to go back because it's like the same.
Do you like Ashley and Amanda?
I like Ashley.
I don't like Amanda. I don't like because Amanda she goes way below the belt when she gets in a verbal altercation.
I agree.
I don't like the shit that comes out of her mouth sometimes, but it's whatever. Ashley, I like her more now than I used to, Sometimes she kind of like irks me a little bit. I love Cam. Like I said, obviously I love Cara. I wish Jenny West would come back. I loved Michaela last season, even though she wasn't around very long. I wish she could have come back. I really like Amber B.
Oh, 100%. Love Amber.
Okay.
I don't even mind Casey. I just hate that Casey's attached to Fessy.
I hate that Casey's attached to Fessy and Nani.
What is us liking these other people have to do with Kayla?
Oh, I was just curious. If you didn't like Kayla, who did you like? Just my curiosity.
He's gonna try to compare Kayla to them, and there is like Cam versus Kayla. Get the fuck out of here.
Cam's better, but I like Amanda.
You like who?
I like Amanda. I like people that bring something to the show, and I think Amanda brings something to the show.
I don't think Kayla brought anything during All Stars.
I don't think she did either.
That's all.
She talked petty shit in confessionals, never did it to their face, and once all her friends were gone, she was like a church mouse in a corner.
Yep.
I don't like that I'm getting triple teamed here. That's what I don't like.
Welcome to our treehouse, okay? We're the willow trees.
Our treehouse.
Kayla, I support you.
Now, again, this is just her on the show. I don't know her in real life.
She's very nice. I've met her before.
I think it's really lame, and that's putting it as nicely as I can, that she doesn't like to do podcasts because I don't like to talk about the show. I'm protecting my mental health. Girl, that's because you say some fucked up shit and you don't want to get called out on it.
Called out on it, right? Exactly.
Way to call out my story on Instagram.
I wasn't even trying to, and you just exposed yourself. So
I don't care. It's totally fine. But I was like, where the fuck have I heard this before? I was like, oh shit, I posted that.
I really wish. I mean, it might be a combination of both. I really wish she would do podcasts, or at least just mine, because I want to interview her.
Well, I
would interview her. I still don't have to like her.
I get that.
I will say this about Kayla, just in general. She is friends with some of my friends. And so I feel like the company you keep says a lot about you in a lot of ways. So maybe that's why I have a little bit of a soft spot for Kayla. And when I did message her, she was very sweet to me and everything. And she didn't even have to message me back. But yeah, I do wish she would do podcasts. That's one of my pet peeves is I think you should do some sort of press. It doesn't necessarily have to be my podcast. It can be a competitor's podcast. Just do a podcast.
But she hasn't even done Mania. So she doesn't do podcasts.
Right.
I think
that's why I want Sylvia too. Sylvia only did Mania.
Listen, Sylvia's gone. We're not talking about her.
I'm with Paige on that one.
I think it's good for them to do at least one, just because we all know the show is so edited, things are cut and pieced together, that it gives them an opportunity to tell their side of the story and maybe show a different perspective inside of who they are than what we see on 40 minutes of television once a week.
How do you think Veronica would have done at this challenge, the flight pattern challenge?
I think she would have fucking nailed it, as long as she didn't drop back as far as John A did.
I agree. And she does puzzles. She would have remembered the colors.
Oh yeah.
She would have got the colors, but I don't think she would have swam as fast as John A.
John A didn't swim fast at all.
She swam fast, but she was also 3 miles away because she got.
That's what I'm saying. Because she dropped herself too soon. So I was like, damn, that girl really is in the water forever.
She was.
So the daily is basically one guy, one gal are strapped in a helicopter. They have to lean out, stare at a puzzle and memorize it. Hit the harness, release, whatever. Once they're in the drop zone, swim to their stand and put the puzzle together. And there's a catch. There is a red line on the answer key, and you have to put the puzzle pieces together based on where that red line is. So Mark and Kellyanne go first. They do it pretty freaking fast. Derek and Kayla are next. Kayla definitely got that shit wrong.
She's too in her head about stuff like that. And I feel like I could be the same way, but a lot of people have said this, Latarian has said this, Cyrus has said this. Sometimes they beat themselves. And I feel like that's kind of what Kayla did, because I feel like she would be a fast swimmer if she just literally just focused and got it done. She would have won.
Yeah. I agree.
Well, I think it even goes back to we were talking about trivia. Most of the questions people probably know, but when you're like hanging off the side of a building or whatever, it's not going to come to you.
Yeah, it's a little
So
different.
If you're, hanging out of a helicopter and trying to memorize it, you might not be as good at it as you thought you would be.
True. Very true. And I'm loving the music that they're using.
Oh yeah.
For the daily. It's
Ludicrous.
perfect. Yes. Kellyanne's giggle in the confessional when she's like, Kayla looks very upset. It sent me. I died. I just laughed.
She
I
always
love
looks
it.
so pretty in her confessionals.
She does. So it makes the shade even better. Wes and John A go next. Wes states he just wants the trophy from winning the season. He doesn't need the money. In that case, sir, I'm gonna DM you my address and you can send me the check. I'll take the money.
Yeah, I think that's nonsense. He obviously wants the money. I just think he wants to sound cooler than he is.
Oh, I know. It's Wes. He always does
Yeah.
too much. But just in
Are
case.
you not a West fan?
I go back and forth with Wes. There are some seasons that I love him,
Same.
and there's some seasons that I can't stand him.
Same.
I think his best like political performance was X's 2 or War of the Worlds. With X's 2 with Bananas and Nani coming back kind of screwed him. I'm liking him this season though. I think he's good this season.
He's definitely playing up a little bit of the villainous role, but that's what he's good at.
Yeah, that's what he does.
John A drops really far in the drop zone, like for her puzzle stand, and it takes her forever to get there. Wes solves this puzzle in no time. John A does manage to solve it. I can tell that it's right when they show it. And then next up we have Brad Naya. Naya freaks out. She was like, I know I'm a corporate flight attendant in a plane, but that's a little bit different than hanging out over open water.
It is not remotely the same.
Yeah. And Brad tries.
He does, but falling on water really is scary.
Brad was such a sweetheart. I love Brad.
He was a sweetheart. He tried to give her a pep talk.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, I like Brad a lot more this season. I wasn't a fan of him when he was with Tori Hall. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, that's Tori's fault.
Yeah.
True. I just want to say Captain Beardo is my hero. Put that on his shirt and I want creative rights. Okay. Paige, you can use it for merch. Captain Beardo is my hero with the silhouette drawing of Brad with his beard.
I will say this, which was a more toxic relationship, Brad and Tori, or Brad and Brittany?
Brad and
Tori.
Oh God, no.
That's really hard.
There's kids involved with the first one.
Yeah, that's a good point, Nadine. I'm gonna have to go Brad and Tori.
Yeah. That's so tough because I don't like Brittany.
I don't like Brittany.
I feel like that was more like a rebound.
I've heard that in person she's actually very sweet, but she's so skanky that I just can't.
I just think she tries too hard to make storylines that don't exist.
Yes.
If that makes sense. That's my issue with Brittany.
I like a good skank. That's not my issue with Brittany. So.
No, not mine either. But she looks like she smells like one.
Okay.
Doesn't Joe call her musty ass?
You know what's like the skanky smell, like
yeah,
like you don't wash yourself down there,
like unwashed
after too many rendezvous.
Do you think Brittany will ever be invited back to the challenge?
No. For what?
She didn't really bring anything.
I don't think she'll be invited either, but I would like to see her one season.
Why?
Why?
Just why not? Maybe she'll win the whole thing.
No, what?
Listen,
Get out of here with that. What?
Listen. Nobody thought Amber would ever win her rookie season, and she did it. So why can't Brittany come back and win?
Amber's better than Brittany.
Oh, 100%
Amber
agree.
can actually like run and stuff.
No. I got that part, but maybe Brittany can win. Who knows?
Okay.
If
Amanda will win.
Final is.
Amanda will win in the next 2 years. Mark my words.
I was gonna say something really crude, but I'm not gonna say.
No, go for it.
No, because we have to edit it out.
Oh,
Okay.
We'll say it after.
Okay.
The thing about Naya too is like as soon as she got in that helicopter, I did think she was gonna jump. Like I was like, she's just gonna jump, but like she didn't, and that made me really sad because you could tell like she wanted to jump, but it was her versus her. Like she couldn't do it. But also, I will say this, and like this is not shady at all. Like I said this to her. if it was back in the old elimination rules where last place got automatically into the elimination, she would have jumped.
Probably.
I think had Jordan been there, she would have jumped.
Yeah. Agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can't. I am terrified of heights. I don't even like to climb up a ladder. And I had said this before too. Like, even go like up if you go up to a small plane, you're going up the steps to it. I don't even like that, or coming off the plane. Once I'm in the plane and you're enclosed, it's fine. But so I get what she was terrified about, and I wouldn't have done it. So
yeah, I don't know what I would have done. I feel like I'd be okay if I'm over water. So it didn't seem like they were super high over water.
Oh, I felt like they were really high.
Out of the helicopter, even with the harness, I would be like, my legs would have been shaking.
I would have been Veronica and been eliminated because I fell down the stairs trying to get to the pizza. So that would have been me.
Oh, damn pizza. I hope the pizza at least tasted good.
If it was DiGiorno's, it didn't.
I have Trader Joe's pizza in my fridge. I can't wait to eat it.
Now I want pizza.
Did we get pizza when you were in New York, Paige, or no?
No, I watched you eat pizza though.
Okay, well, next week we're gonna do it. We're gonna be here for 10 hours, but we're gonna do it.
No, we will do it because Pat will be there, and he's in a Facebook group called Pizza Wars. Like, I don't.
Oh, so we have to go somewhere. We have to go somewhere.
He gets kicked out a lot, actually.
You told me that.
For arguing about
Patricia.
pizza.
Sometimes he trolls. Like, he'll take a picture of like a Red Baron pizza boat, and he'll be like, 10 out of 10, best pizza I've ever had. Like,
Look, they're
disgusting.
good if you church them up.
You know what's disgusting that I will not tolerate? Like Pizza Hut, Domino's, Papa John's. Those places are gross.
Well,
Dylan-
I ate Domino's last night for dinner, so
Like Papa
we're not
John.
privileged if we haven't figured that out yet.
No, I just don't eat fast food. I watch
Because-
too many documentaries.
Wait,
okay, well,
I don't eat
when
any
you're
fast
in your
food.
30s and you work in property management and you're by yourself all week and you're mentally exhausted, you order Domino's. Especially
Where do you
because
live?
I live in Maryland. And the area I live in, like none of the good pizza places deliver. And I was angry yesterday and exhausted, and I was not driving anywhere to get pizza. So Domino's it was.
Real quick, how do you think Naya would have done on this elimination?
The elimination.
The elimination or the daily?
The daily, sorry.
I think she would have done phenomenal.
I do too. I think she would have been good.
Yeah,
she would've
I don't
won.
think she would have won, but she would have killed
If
it.
she would have gotten it right, she would have won for the simple fact that John A dropped so far away from her stand.
Yeah.
And
I
Kelly
agree.
fucked it up.
Yeah, and Kellyanne, as we find out, she got the sequence right, but at the wrong angle. So basically, it was like she turned her puzzle 90 degrees because of that red line telling you this is what the top's supposed to be, so you know what's the middle and what's the bottom. Nehemiah goes last. He's the only one to go by himself because the numbers are uneven. Blah, blah, blah. Basically, the winners are Mark and Derek for the guys were the only two to get it right. Mark won. Good for Derek. Look at that's like the second kind of puzzle-ish thing where he did pretty well. Like he is improving. Good for him. It took
I know.
15 years. No shade. I love Derek K. I'll tell him that in person in Nashville. I'll be like, you know what? It only took you 15 years, but you finally started to get it with the puzzles. I'm so proud of you.
Derek's one of those people too, for people that haven't met him, that like he's so warm and just so nice that like nothing anybody says to him really phases him because he just likes to interact with people. But I do feel like he gets shit on kind of a lot, but he's having a great season.
He's okay joking around with things, definitely. And do you feel, question for the group, because I think I've seen a lot of Derek hate. Do you think it's on all platforms? Because I've only seen it on Twitter. Like I've not seen any hate for him on Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, or anything.
Very
It's
little.
just Twitter.
I think it's because he's in that position where he is always like at the forefront because he's part of one of the biggest challenge podcasts. He's at the majority of the challenge fan events. He's been on the last 3 seasons of All Stars. Everybody was so excited for All Stars 1 when he was on there, and then it's just like too much exposure. People just want to find something to hate on you for. It's annoying. It's weird.
Well, what hate is he getting? I haven't really seen anything.
I think he's
on
extra.
Twitter.
They think he's annoying. They think that he, like on the podcast in particular, they think that he is not. But like, here's the thing: it's very difficult. So like when we do recaps together, either when I'm with the two of you ladies or with Dylan, like we have a dynamic that complements each other, and that works. Scott and Derek do not have a dynamic that complements each other. They have a dynamic that goes head to head with one another. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's just their style, but some people don't like that.
Because sometimes Scott will challenge Derek, and I like it. It gets exciting. Derek just has a lot of energy, and like he's just one of those people where you can see his brain is moving faster than his mouth.
Right.
And so he trips himself up.
He's very like aggro, but in a good way. Like he's just like all the time.
Just haters. But you know what? He's the one laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, I've also seen some hate that people think him and Nehemiah's storyline is like overproduced and kind of fake. Like,
but that's not their fault, because I'm pretty sure every single person in this house had a beef with somebody. It just maybe wasn't here. You're telling me that like the Wes and Yes beef wasn't the most overproduced shit you've ever seen in your life? It for sure was.
So,
I don't know, because when I interviewed Yes last week, he said he wasn't even invited to Kansas City for the All-Stars party.
Oh, I'm not saying that production overproduced it.
Oh.
Why wouldn't he be invited?
He told me I put it in there. I kept it in, but he said that Wes, like, I was like, are you meeting Kansas City? Because I'm going to be there. And he's like, no, I didn't get a text from Wes. A lot of people have been asking me, but it's at Wes's like business or whatever it is, or his house or something, whatever the location is. And Yes isn't going, that I've heard of. I talked to him last week about it.
When we get off here, I have some tea.
Okay, that's fine. That's so petty. But anyway, we'll go back to the show. That bothers me. I'm also really jealous. I wish I could go to Kansas City, but
I wish I could just go to all of them, but whatever.
Vicariously, I would have done it if I wasn't literally in the process of trying to move and buy a home.
Yeah.
Like if this was 6 months from now, fuck yeah, I'd be there. But I was like, home or Kansas.
When Nadine and I went to the one in Tampa, I had literally moved into my house 5 days before we went. So that kind of sucks, because I had my brand new house and I leave for a week.
You were like, I'm trying to remember my new address.
Right.
Speaking of addresses, where the fuck was Bananas when he did this video call? Because his audio quality was bullshit.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Wind tunnel or something.
It was weird.
This might be a stupid question, but I mean, I'm guessing they told him ahead of time Wes was going to call, or does he just sit around and
that shit was set? That was planned.
That was 100% planned by production to have him call Bananas, because Bananas was supposed to be on this season or whatever, and then he was an alternate, or Tyler was the alternate that took his spot. They wanted Bananas. They just wanted his screen time, because he hasn't been on the show in what, 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Since Total Madness.
Well, everybody was like talking about him sitting around in the song or whatever. I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, that whole scene was like super dumb, but one of production's little things that they like to do, and they think that we're stupid enough to fall for it and think it's authentic. But anyway, so now they're back at the house after the daily. Janae and Mark are the winners, so they are safe. Janae gets Veronica's star. Me too. I love him. Janae starts chatting with each remaining female to decide whom to put into elimination. Naya is very in her head. I think if this was the main show, that would definitely be used as an excuse to put her in. People would be like sharks circling blood. But on All Stars, they're a little bit more sympathetic and understanding.
They don't know what the elimination's gonna look like.
Yeah.
And it's Maya, who is 6'1", and Kayla, who is tall but is this big, Janae, who is this tall, and then
Kellyanne,
who is this big. So they really have to be cognizant of.
Yeah. I mean, because Kayla's like what, 5'6"?
I think she's 5'7".
5'7". Yeah, Nia's like 6 feet. I think the only person who's as tall as Nia is Laurel, and like Cam's like 2 inches shorter at 5'10".
I think Amber's pretty tall too, right? Amber's like 5'9", 5'10", I think.
She's my height, 5'9".
Amber was tall. Being in the same room with Laurel and Nia, I was like, why the fuck are you guys so tall? Like this
because you're short.
Yeah. I'm almost 5'7", but compared to those giants.
Okay, I'm 5'4", so.
Oh yeah, you would be like this the whole time.
Okay.
Oh,
I kept saying I was 5'5". My husband's like, "You're not 5'5". He's like, "Let's measure you," and I was 5'4", and then I was pissed. So
and you're like, "I hate you. Get that thing away from me."
People shrink, right?
When you're old.
When you're old. Oh well.
No, I think people shrink. Whatever. I don't know anything about it.
Apparently, you're your tallest in the morning, and then throughout the day, gravity like compresses the air between your spine or whatever in your spine. So then
I
you get
actually have a
It's not like a lot. Like it's like, I don't know, half an inch or something.
Yeah. But I have a I don't know, what do you call it? The thing where you hold, go upside down.
Oh, I want to try one of those.
Oh, it's awesome. It feels good.
I'm doing that next time I come to your house.
Okay.
Once I figure out teleportation. So Johnny's like in an interesting position because she's basically trying to see like who says don't put me in and who's like I don't care. Well, all three of them are like, well, I don't care. And really Kayla and Kellyanne are doing it because they don't want to go against Nia. Because unless it's like a straight puzzle where they have an equal chance, if it's something physical, even if Nia's in her head, she could still drag them. Very possibly. I mean, we've seen before where Nia has been taken out by someone smaller, Cara Maria. But a lot of that had to do with mentality. And either way, they don't want to take that chance. So she's like, crap, what am I going to do? Wes thinks the stars are a huge advantage. He wants to go in. And he wants to go in because he wants to pick Derek, because Derek is the male with the most amount of stars right now. He makes a Mario Kart reference about throwing banana peels behind his back. And then we see him talking to bananas again. I don't know why. This is the dumbest thing. It was so dumb. I don't like it. And I didn't like, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say John A is so over Wes's ass.
Oh yeah. She's like, just take the wind out of his fucking sails. Like, I'm tired of hearing him.
Yeah.
I am surprised. Well, they didn't show it, but from what we saw, I'm surprised that from what we saw, no one mentioned like, are we even sure there's going to be a women's elimination?
I think there's going to be a women's eliminate. This is my prediction. This is what I said. I think there's going to be a women's elimination for the star, but they both get to stay.
Well, because we know the order. So, or I know the order. Nadine probably knows the order.
I do too. So it's very possible that I didn't even think of that Paige. I thought like maybe like they would just go to start and TJ would go, ha, just kidding. You guys are both same. You're going to the final. Woo! And then,
I think they're going to compete for the star.
I didn't even think about that. So that's probably possible. Oh, I can't wait to watch it then. So John A and Mark get together to discuss who they want the choices to be. Kayla and Derek, of course, are the choices. Mark's thinking of it this way. Like, if I put Derek in, I know he's not going to pick Brad. And he's going to end up picking either Wes or Nehemiah, who he's not really allied with. So, now Derek gets the choice. Mark's like, my hands are clean. Wes is not happy because he wanted to get put in, because he wanted to be able to choose Derek, because there's no guarantee Derek's going to choose Wes when he has the options of Nehemiah and Brad. Right. Everyone thinks it's amusing that Wes is unhappy, except for Wes and Nehemiah. But Nehemiah is more, I thought it was funny, but Nehemiah is just kind of like, whatever, I don't care. Like, there's no point in getting pressed over it. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Do you think Wes actually wanted to go in?
Yeah.
I think so.
Interesting. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I think he wanted the stars.
I don't know if I don't think so. It's so hard to like not read Wes, but like see what his true intentions are because he's so
Yeah.
smart. So I don't know if it was just like to get more screen time or what. Because why would you throw yourself into elimination?
I think West
Stars.
is what the stars mean.
I know, but what does the stars mean? That's what I'm so curious about.
I don't know what they mean, but I think West does.
Yeah, I'm like so curious what they mean because how big of an advantage can you have in a final? You know what I mean?
I think it's a sabotage. I think
Or maybe it gives you like each one you have, you get an extra minute ahead.
That's
or
what I was
something.
thinking. I was thinking it has to be like a minute
Yeah.
thing.
it's
Or
either a
like-
minute or a sabotage because the sabotage has been a theme all season, like whatever
That's
it
true.
is. But I truly believe that West knows what it is.
Very possible. We don't know what the
Put it
fuck
this
it is.
way, we know exactly what's going on. People that do spoilers or don't do spoilers, whatever. But like at this point in season 38, we know who's still left. We know who fucked who in the house. We know who has alliances. We know who eliminated who. We know all of that stuff. How do you think we know that? Well, production is telling spoiler accounts. Well, you don't think production tells their favorites exactly what's going
Oh,
on?
sure.
Get the fuck out of here with that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. Like, I know, like at the beginning, like you called it America's fifth sport, which is definitely what the media said, but it also is a reality show. It's,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, this is not, so for Big Brother UK, for example, I don't know how it works in America, to be honest, but Big Brother UK, it's like a public vote, like the countries decide.
Yeah. In the US, the people in the house vote
Yeah.
out who
But
they
like
want.
America's favorite house guest, like America
We
decides.
vote.
But
Mhm.
like that goes through like a panel, like an actual like government set up panel to make sure that the prizing is fair. The challenge doesn't do any of that.
Of
So
course not.
they don't because it's dubbed as a reality show, they don't have to do any of that.
Do you
So
think they'll start changing when they do this like global war tournament they're gonna start doing?
no, I think it'll get worse.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Though I have heard that Celebrity Big Brother UK is rigged. Or
I
at least
believe
one
it.
of the seasons was. Because I did listen. Now, granted, because of who it's coming from, Spencer Pratt. The season he was on there with Heidi, he says a producer told them that the winner was already decided because they wanted to use the guy for something like some other like spinoff show or whatever. I don't know if it's true.
I believe it. I mean, Stephen Bear won Big Brother Celebrity UK. That's all you have to say.
Well, also, I'm not saying that the challenge is rigged because I actually don't believe that any winner has been. I don't think any finalist has been rigged.
Yeah.
So I don't really believe that, but I think that there are favorites. I think
it's like Squid Games where they watch and they make bets and then they like try to give their favorites advantages.
Well, I also think there's a reason we see Jordan in a shit ton of eliminations that require two hands. I think there's a reason that we saw Cara in an elimination with a broken wrist that she needed to punch through a thing. I think that there's reasons we see things like that, and it is what it is. But I do think there's a little bit of, puppet mastering shit going on. But maybe that's what makes it entertaining. So
No, I agree with you because of the Jordan Bananas elimination on Free Agents when they had to punch the wall. If you remember that.
Oh yeah.
That didn't sit right well with me because you knew Jordan wasn't gonna. I mean, he was close, but that was gonna be hard for him to do. And Bananas was like, I mean, he still is, but the poster boy at the time. So
and production
Yeah.
knew that Jordan was going to go in because he said he was going to flip all the things over.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like they gave Cara with her broken hand the same wall against Laurel.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I do think Wes wanted to go in. I do think he's production's favorite. I think, he apologized for it on Twitter, like all the shit that he said, but like,
Oh yeah. We're getting
I
to
don't know,
that.
man, that's a lot. It was a lot for me. And, Wes has like a very good relationship with his wife. And like, obviously they have always like, they're like, their animals are their family and that's great or whatever. If Derek would have said to whoever was going against Wes, he's not going to have a fucking family to go back to. Wes would have made that a thing for the rest.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
And like, Derek, he will like forgive it or he won't even talk about it. So it's just a little bit of a double standard, but I do think that was great of him to apologize and be like, listen, I fucked up. That was not right, because it's
Yeah.
true. But
I agree.
There's trash talk and then there's low blow, and don't bring family into it. I mean,
yeah, just be like fuck him up. You know, that is.
But at least he did
normal trash talk. Yeah,
he did apologize. And then, you know, I think what Nehemiah said about Derek, that when he talks, it's a lot of air pollution. I think that is not inaccurate sometimes. So, you know,
he was also saying it to be a little bit of a dick.
I just think Derek has endless amounts of energy and has to expel it in some way.
Yeah.
And it just comes out through his mouth or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think Derek's political game is as strong as some of the other people.
Yeah.
And he gets himself into trouble sometimes.
He's impulsive. Derek actually reminds me of my man a lot.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Derek reminds me of my man a lot. So like I totally get it. Like the other day, he was talking about like all these cities that had concerts for a band that he really liked, and I was like, you need a plan, blah blah blah, because I was like, otherwise this bitch is gonna wake up in the morning and purchase a concert ticket for every single city because he's impulsive like that. And that's kind of how I think Derek is. I think he just like gets excited and then just can't stop. Well, even we've seen him puzzles, he is talking the whole time, he can't stop. So
it's like a constant hamster running in there.
Yeah. If Derek was on the flagship again, because he obviously wants to go back on it, how do you think he would do?
Bad. I don't think he would.
I think he would get at least halfway because of his connections within Challenge Mania.
Yeah.
I think he would do all right, but the problem is, I think that the problem with like the OGs going to the flagship has nothing to do with they're not as physically competitive for me.
Yeah.
It has to do with they have different goals. Mm-hmm. So like the people that are in the house for 38 right now, with the exception of maybe like 2 of them, they're there because they want to be famous.
Right.
That's why they're there. And so, you know, I'm not saying they don't love to compete or whatever, but like they want to be reality stars. I mean, when we met Fessy straight up said, being a reality star is the best job ever because it's easy. Like, I don't think like Jordan and Mark and those kind of people are going on the show because they want to be famous. Like, they don't mind the notoriety, but like.
That's a good point. I have a question. I don't know if this is a spoiler. If it is, cut it. What about Casey? Because I feel like Casey wants to win. I don't think she cares about the notoriety, in your words.
Well, first of all, we are a spoilers group, so it's okay.
Okay, I don't know if this was spoilers.
You should know this,
your
Dylan.
Facebook group is.
Yeah.
But I agree with you that whole like vacation crew is what has, I don't say ruined the show, because individually they're fine, but as the focal point of the challenge, it's terrible. Like we need back to like Cara, Wes, Jordan, Bananas, Laurel, Cam, like that group. But I think Casey's different because I think Casey actually wants to win. I don't think she's there for the.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I think she's down for the fame that comes with it.
Yeah.
She's like, it certainly doesn't hurt, but I don't think it's her priority. She's not Josh throwing hissy fits, starting fights, inserting herself in conversations she has no business in. In fact, she feels like a mother hen sometimes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, because I don't watch Big Brother. She won Big Brother?
Yeah.
Yes.
So she was with an alliance that was really strong. And if I'm being 100% honest with you, so it was Tyler Crispin, who's Angela's fiance. Angela will be on CBS Challenge July 6th. Tyler was the brains that ran the show, and Casey won all the challenges. Casey won like 3 or 4 HOHs, 5 power vetoes, a hacker challenge. So he was the brains and she was the muscle. They got to the end and it was a 4-4 vote. And Bailey, Swaggy C's wife, she was on the challenge, made the final. She voted Casey to win because her and Tyler got into a huge fight during that season, and she was closer with Casey. So Casey won over Tyler 5-4, but they both played a great game, both of them together.
Was she more interesting on Big Brother? Because she is not interesting.
I don't think.
Well,
I like her, but she stays out of it, which is smart. I mean, she won last season.
No, she's a puppet master. She's a sniper from the side. She really
you can't. I mean, I will say I don't enjoy, like, she doesn't bring entertainment value 100% like other people do, but she knows how to get to the end. She's never been eliminated. She won Big Brother and she won the challenge. Like, she knows how to win these games and win money and go home happy. So you got to give her that credit.
I disagree that Casey doesn't want fame. I just looked at her Instagram. Casey wants to be a personal trainer, and so obviously winning physical competition shows are going to help her with that.
No,
So
of course. But I agree with you, Paige. But I think like with the Devin and like the rest of them, fame is number one. The winning isn't a priority as much. I think Casey wants fame, but winning is number one. Fame is number two, is how I'll word it.
I would agree with you on that. Yeah.
I don't disagree with that part.
Thank you.
I don't think anybody going on reality TV doesn't want to be famous.
Yeah.
That's a good point too.
I mean, it's definitely like a perk. Some people treat it as more important than the game itself, but it's definitely a perk for everybody. If you didn't want to go on TV, you wouldn't even have an agent to call you about going on the challenge.
Well, some of them didn't. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference between All Stars and Flagship.
Yeah.
Like All Stars, like Mark is DMing them on Instagram.
Yeah.
I think so. Like we said about Casey, I think CT really wants to win over the fame. One of them that's hard, and I know what Paige is going to say, so I'm asking you two. Bananas, do you think he wants fame more, or do you?
Fame.
I think he wants fame number one too, but I think he also wants to win. I mean, he won 7 times.
He's a huge fame whore. Come on, let's be real.
Dylan, that's the dumbest question anybody has.
No, it's not a dumb question. I said bananas because he won the most times. He won 7 championships.
He won 7 championships because he paid for 2 of them.
Okay, that's a good point that I didn't know we were going to say on live.
And that is one of those is actually a fact. So don't even come for me on that because one of those is a fact that another challenger has confirmed. So
we're talking about, I know which one we're both talking about. What's the other one? Which one are you talking about? The second one?
No, I'm going to say it off camera because
text me.
No, I'm not going to text you right now. So, but my thing is
no, because we want to know too.
We'll discuss.
Dylan.
If you weren't there for your fame, if you weren't there for your brand, if you weren't there to be so notorious and so famous, straight up, you would be John Diavanzio, but you're not. You're Johnny Bananas. That's who you are. You have made yourself a name because you want to be famous. However, I will say this. I'm not a Bananas fan as a person. I don't think he's a good human being. His value to the show is it's unparalleled. You really cannot question it. So I'm never going to be upset that he is on a season because I think it'll bring in viewership. And number 2, as somebody who obviously has, 1% notoriety, I can't hate on him for, having a brand and having a nickname because it's what makes you known. So I think it's smart. But at the end of the day, if I said to you, I don't really, want any notoriety or anything, I just like to make content, you would know that's a bunch of bullshit. And so that's what it is with Bananas. Your name is Johnny Bananas. You want to be famous. And you know what? He does it better than anybody else. I was referring to Rivals 3. I guess he didn't really pay for it, but he cheated.
Oh, well, we all know that.
Yeah. That's nothing new. I know the other one you're talking about.
I think he wants the fame, and he also just happens to be really good at challenges.
Yeah, I don't think
he likes the bragging, right?
Like not a good competitor either.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I don't, I know I get a lot of shit because I hate on Bananas, but at the end of the day, every single person that's like, no, I love him. I'm like, to each your own, like, fuck yeah, like do it. I don't care. As long as Camilla is not your favorite, then I'm good to go with you.
There's some more people you need to name in that group, Paige.
No, because last time I named some people from that group, I got a weird threat, so I'm not going to do that anymore.
Oh, you didn't tell me about this. I will say I don't like Bear.
Well, if anybody does like Bear, they can go take a long walk off a very short cliff.
I do not like Bear at all. That's somebody that's in that group too.
Hey, and I'm the first person to say, before all these things that he did came out, I thought he was hysterically funny and I liked him. And then I found out what a garbage piece of shit person he was. And then I'm like, nope.
I thought he was really good for the show before all of this. And then I do not support anything he's done since.
Go look at who still follows him on Twitter though.
His Twitter, I can't go on his Twitter because it's just not.
It's porn.
Yeah, but go look at who still follows him.
Who follows him?
I have a question. Actually,
I'm guessing we know.
It's actually multiple people, but just like.
But also multiple people followed Camilla until Leroy made his video explaining how he felt, and then they all unfollowed him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people like don't want it to be public, but then once they get called out for it, they're like, oh no, I just forgot to unfollow or whatever. Do you disagree? I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying like people are shady and will align with people until like the public perception comes out and they're like, oh, I was never friends with them in the first place.
I don't think a lot of people thought Camilla did anything wrong until Leroy explained it.
True.
Interesting. Because I thought everybody could tell that she did something wrong when they watched it.
Where
am I going to right? Oh, Paige.
I think they chalked it up to a drunken tirade and not a racist thing. Anyway, did you hate how we ended this on a fucking cliffhanger?
Yes. Which, by the way, Derek calls out Nehemiah instead of West to elimination.
Oh,
yeah. Why he did it, but
right.
I didn't think he was gonna pick West, to be honest.
I knew he wouldn't pick West. West is still in amazing shape.
Yeah. Also, I think Wes is like significantly taller.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I mean, it's a pole wrestle. I don't know.
I kind of go back and forth on this because how do I want to say this? I almost feel like Derek may have tried harder against Wes. Does that make sense?
There would have been more at stake.
Yeah. I mean, I get why he called out Nehemiah, but because I had written on the page after that, I was like, if he had called out Wes, who would have won? And everybody's like, Wes. And agreed, Wes still would have won. I almost think he would have tried harder, though. Not that he didn't try. I don't know how to explain myself.
I get what you're saying. Here's what I really think. Here are the competitors that are left. It's Brad. He can't choose Mark. Right. Nehemiah, Wes. I think out of all of them, he had the best chance against Brad, but he's not going to pick Brad. Only because of their sizes. I
think Brad would have destroyed him.
Oh, I think
don't
Brad
think
would have just broken him in half.
I gotta tell you,
I think Nehemiah was his best bet.
Yeah, I think Nehemiah was his best bet too. Brad would have killed him.
I think Derek's gonna get killed no matter who it is.
Agree 100%.
No matter what, straight up. But the only reason I say Brad is for a couple reasons. One, I don't recall Brad ever really being in a pole wrestle, so I don't know how because that's the thing about it. Like Naya said, she was like, I would dog walk these bitches. Yes, that's true, and she's done like something like this before, but is it about the strength? Of course it is. It's about all of that, but it's also about the angle that you're getting on this fucking pole too. Like, if you've never done it before, you don't really know how to do it. So that would be Derek's advantage over Brad in that situation. That's all. I think Derek's going to get destroyed regardless by any of those guys. I think Naya would destroy Derek actually. So, I don't think it's going to work out for him either way, but I think Brad would have been his best bet. But, Derek's kind of known for pole wrestling, I guess, or whatever.
He's been in a lot of them.
Yeah.
Derek, Dylan, do you want to say your controversial opinion so you also get ripped up in these comments?
About Derek and Joss?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it. I don't care. I think the Derek and Joss elimination is one of the most overrated eliminations on Vendettas. I don't get the hype. I watched it once. I can't watch it again. Joss destroyed him. And there was like a technicality or something that he stepped out of bounds. It was nonsense, a complete nonsense. And Joss went home. It is so boring to watch. And I hated it. That's my hot take.
Disappointing.
Wow, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah. Listen. And I bet there's people that agree with me.
It's
not many.
I think the Melissa Sylvia elimination on Vendettas is 100 times better than Joss and Derek's.
Oh, you're funny. Yes, 100%.
It's overrated. It's so overrated. They play it too many times.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but I mean, they do that with any moments that are great in the moment. But it's still pretty damn good elimination, mostly because of the fact that Derek, on paper, like if you didn't know if Derek wasn't who he was, just on paper, like Joss misassumed, Joss should have wiped the floor with him. And the fact that he couldn't is, I think, what makes so many people enjoy it.
I would
Mostly
have loved
Scott
to see-
Yeager.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Josh Martinez in a pole wrestle with anybody. Because Josh has never been in like a physical elimination before that I can recall. I would
Mhm.
love to see him like a pole wrestle or like the one, I forget what they call it, but when they put the ball in the can.
If he
Oh,
if he
yeah.
pole wrestled, he would probably cry and his tears would make it slippery and he'd let go.
You want to see a 30-second elimination? He couldn't even do the boxing event. He got DQ'd before he even did it. Come on, get the fuck out of here. That's
Listen,
exactly
I've met Josh and talked to him a couple times. He's so nice. So I have a hard time with the Josh hate because he's like
There's
one of the
lots
nicest
of
guy
people
ever.
that are nice in person that I haven't met and I don't like them on TV.
No, I get it, but I have to like. He's a nice guy. People just throw that out there.
I still don't like it.
All I've seen is
You
on
can
the
be
show.
nice and still be a blubbering crybaby.
I like Josh better than Fessy. I'll say that.
I like pretty much everybody better than Fessy.
Oh, didn't you meet Fessy in Tampa?
We did.
How was that experience for you?
Not great.
Really?
He's not interesting at
Oh.
all.
What am I say? So episode 8 ends on a cliffhanger with the guys going at it, Nehemiah and Derek. So we're going to find out next week, apparently, what happens. Why it's cliffhanger, I don't know. Maybe they'll start the final towards the end of episode 9, and that will be the majority of episode 10. Thank you so much to Paige and Dylan for joining us. Once again, Paige is from the Most Likely To pod, and Dylan is from Chillin' with Dylan. And tell these fine listeners where they can find you guys if they aren't following you already. Paige, you may start.
So I am on TikTok, pretty_petty_x. That's where you will find all my challenge content. You could also follow that Instagram, but it's mostly spicy content. So if you're not into that, then that sucks for you because it's good. Also on Twitter, I'm Most Likely Pod, and then on Instagram, I'm Most Likely To pod. I'm spoiler free on all of my platforms, but you are always welcome to DM me and talk about spoilers. And then my podcast is everywhere except for YouTube, because obviously I can't be fucking bothered to get ready. This is as good as it gets.
Y'all were lucky I showered.
I didn't. Straight up, I did not shower. When Dylan and I record, because we do recaps together, I'm like usually in my pajamas. Like,
Yeah, it's because you like get up super early. You're also like 3 hours behind us. So,
yeah.
All right, Dylan.
I am the Chillin' with Dylan pod on Instagram, and then my handle is the Dylan Decker for my personal. I'm also spoiler free. I don't talk about spoilers. I don't even think I go into casting spoilers in anything. Paige, I don't know what the face is for. And then I made a TikTok like as of 2 weeks ago. So go follow me. It's Dylan.Deckard, I think. And I only have like 30 followers. So go support because it's hard. And I got forced into making one by Paige. So
Well, I have 140,000 followers, so I don't know why you say it's hard.
okay, it's time to go.
You just have to get a viral
If I
video.
was on TikTok, you'd have 31 followers.
Oh,
but
thank you.
I guess I'll go follow you to give you 31.
Thank you, Nadine. Thank you. 31.
You can follow me back to give me 201 because I only
I
have
will.
200.
I will.
Okay. So if you are not following us already, I don't know how the hell you came across us, but we are on YouTube as the Unbothered Podcast. Our Facebook fan groups are the Challenge Unbothered. We also have a Car Maria Unbothered fan group, and we have a side group, Entertainment Unbothered, where we talk about everything else in media land outside of the challenge. It's super fun. Come chat with us there. On Instagram, we are the Challenge Unbothered, and Twitter at UnbotheredPod1, and you can stream our podcast on all major platforms like Spotify, Apple, etc. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a download, give us a great rating. If you're going to give us a shitty rating, just fuck off.
Oh, let me just say before we go that Anastasia from Rivals 2 and from the Real World Portland, she had a very traumatic birth trauma story. And like, I don't want to go into details because it could be really triggering, but you can find all of it on her Instagram, which I'm sure you'll link in the bio. I can't even like pronounce her Instagram. It's like a long ass name. But so this as long as you use the code unbothered when you purchase in my merch store, I'm donating all of it to her. And if you don't want any of my merch and you just want to donate to her, she has a GoFundMe. The challenge itself has done not one motherfucking thing to help her. And these big ass creators from the challenge, I won't say their names, but other than Naya and the rest of her Real World Portland cast, with the exception of Jordan, because he's away right now, they have been really the only big creator supporting her. So, you know, she's not asking for a lot, but if you can help her, then help her. Also, Polly and Cara have supported her behind the scenes.
I will say Jemmy has supported her too.
Jemmy
has been very
Corey Lay.
I'm specifically calling out people like huge that
actually know her and performed with her.
All Stars 3 right now, or that were on a show with her. Yeah. I'm specifically calling those people out.
Yeah.
Did she met her goal though, right?
She surpassed their GoFundMe.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So her goal was 6,000. She set it at 1,000, and then Gamer Vev was like, "You need to set it for more," and she did. So even though she set it at 6,000, which is a significant amount of money, she needs so much more than that.
Yeah.
So just help her any way you can.
Heartbreaking.
It is.
That.
You can read her story. If you cannot donate, just share it, because then if you share it, someone may see it who's like, wow, I've been in that position, or oh my god, I feel for them, and then give what they can, even if it's not a lot. I mean, she surpassed her goal within like 2.5 days, not because 5 people gave like $1,000, but because so many fans and supporters and even people that might not be fans gave $10 here, $5 here, $15 here. And that adds up.
I mean, it's amazing. Like, a lot of podcasts have helped out. I'm clocking the ones that haven't. But like, you know, Marie, who's never met her, donated $100. Corey, who's never met her, donated $500. And like, there are a lot of I will say there are a lot of anonymous people on here. So it's possible that people have donated anonymously and haven't shown that. And we do live in the kind of world where people are looking at this and going, why don't I see your name there? Like, we got called out for that. But I feel like, you know, a share is the minimum. So do it if you can.
And if you don't want to do it through GoFundMe, she has a Venmo, or even a Cash App on her profile, and you can send it to her directly, and she can take it that way, which some people I think have done as well. So thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you again to Paige and Dylan for joining us. This was a lot of fun. This was a good conversation, and we will see you guys next time. Toodles.